So, what kind of friends do you have? Do you have friends who will come visit you for the weekend, and the next thing you know, your man's phone rings nonstop, and when it rings, he runs away to the bathroom? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about healthy relationships. It is not necessarily just romantic relationships, but healthy relationships in general. Are you in a healthy relationship, or are you just carrying extra weight that could use some shedding? Let's talk. There are some people who you cannot touch their phone and you're calling yourselves a husband and wife. There's passwords and nobody can see each other's phone. And it's so funny because I've seen comments in just different groups of women saying, hey, my friend, stay away from your man's phone. What does that mean? What does that mean? What are we normalizing? So anyway, that is another video for another day. My point is, are you surrounded by Team Mafisi? Or do you have loyal friends who will punch somebody in the face if they even tried that nonsense with your loved one? So there's no point of surrounding yourself with a lot of people in your life just for the sake of it. So to illustrate my point, I'm going to use the analogy of a house. In any house, you have several rooms. You have the entryway, which some may call the veranda, the foyer, or just, the entrance, the outside of the home. And then you have the sitting area. You may even have a family area, depending on how the house is built. You also have the kitchen, and then you have, say, bathrooms, and then you have your most intimate and private area of the home, which is the bedrooms. So I'm going to use this analogy to relate this to friendships. So you have some friends or some relationships that actually end at the door. They will come over, maybe you don't even know them that well, so you're not going to welcome them into the home. You will talk outside at the door and finish whatever business they came for outside the door. And then you have some friends that you will let in the house, and they will just end at the living area. You will make them tea, you will welcome them, you will have chit chats, and then they will go. And then you have some friends who are free to walk straight to the kitchen. They'll be like, oh, I am home. And that sounds like me. I am home. I can go help myself. If I need anything, I am good. I will go. And you have some friends who you are okay for them to do that. And then you have some friends that you'll be like, how could they just get in my house and walk into my kitchen, open my fridge as if this is their own home? And then you have friends who you may have a private discussion with, and that may end up, pulling you guys to the outside or to a more private area of the house, or even to the bedroom. So I think I will focus mostly on the people that you invite to your bedroom. And by bedroom, I mean your intimate spaces, your very important spaces, your very private spaces. Because a lot of us have invited the wrong people into our private spaces, our vulnerable spaces, and have ended up being hurt or have ended up being disappointed. We have people who are meant to stay outside in the veranda or outside in the patio, and we have invited them into our private spaces, into our vulnerable spaces, and they have sure enough disappointed us. So how do you know who to invite into those private spaces, into those very important spaces, and once they're in those spaces, is it guaranteed that they will stay in those spaces? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Do your friends hold you in high regard as you hold them? Because you may think that the friend that you have valued, you have placed them up here, you may think they also have you up there in their lives, but kumbe, you are somewhere down there. You're not even seen. And so you end up wondering why you're not invited to certain parties. You end up wondering why you're not invited into certain aspects of their lives. But you have thought that you are placed somewhere higher, like you are holding them, but you're really not. So what do you do? What I would do personally is I would hold them just as high as they hold me. If we are there, fine. If it's up here, it's down here, that's fine as well. But I will know my priorities. Because when you know what position you hold into somebody's life, then you know what level of priority you are. Why would you spend so much time and resources investing in a relationship where you're not considered worthy? And that's how people end up being disappointed. Is there mutual respect? Stop wasting time with people who don't respect you or respect your time. You're giving too much and not receiving. It's not reciprocated. Stop wasting your time. Invest in those friendships where you are valued, where you're respected in your life. In fact, we don't have to have thousands or even hundreds of friends. What you need is a few good people who got your back no matter what. How many people can you really say that you have friends that got your back no matter what? You have to know who you're dealing with. Let me tell you, there are times when we go through life and things are so hard that you find it so hard to even pray, even though you are born again Christian, spirit filled and all that good stuff. You need somebody who you can call and say, hey, I need prayers. And they will pray with you and pray for you, and that will be the end of the story. If you decide to tell them what the challenge is, you will never hear it again out there. But there are some people who, as soon as you are done talking to them, you will hear every single thing out there. Do not mix business with pleasure. Are your friends loyal? Are they honest? Do they challenge you? Do they make you want to be better? If you're just having people who will not even tell you when you're on the wrong, people who cannot be happy for you when good things happen to you in life, people who can stand by you when bad things happen in life, then there's no point. Why carry the weight? Why carry the weight? Some women are in relationships where their partners are constantly abusing them. And I'm going to use women just because women are the majority. They take over 80%. They account for over 80% of the people who are abused in romantic relationships. You do have men who are abused as well, but I'm going to use the women just because the women are the majority of the people. So you have a spouse who's abusing you. A spouse is supposed to be somebody in your intimate spaces because they know you, they know your weaknesses, they know you that well. They are inside the bedroom. But if they are constantly abusing you, whether it's emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental, any type of abuse, they need to get out of your bedroom. They need to get out of your intimate spaces because they are abusing that level of access. They're inside of the inner circle. But yet they're treating you, they're using your weaknesses against you. So they don't belong there. It is not automatic that if somebody is your spouse, then they're in your intimate space. They should be, but some have abused that privilege and they deserve to be thrown out of that. Honestly, if somebody is hitting you, whether you're a man or woman, they don't need to be in your life. And I'll talk more about abusive relationships in the next video. But right now we're just talking about relationships and, people who need to be in our private spaces, in our, intimate spaces, and people who don't need to be there. When you have friends, are your friends happy for you when you excel? Are they happy for you? Do they want the best for you? Are they like your top fans? Or do you have friends who, when you succeed, they start gossiping? When you succeed, something boils in their stomach. They're so jealous, they want to burst. If those are the kinds of friends you have, my friend, you need to offload yourself. Surround yourself with friends who want the best for you. Purpose to have friends who are doing better than you. Because, like I said earlier, if you're the only one who is doing better than everyone else, then you end up getting drained sooner or later. But if you have friends who are doing better than you, they challenge you, they inspire you, they can lift you up. Let us normalize being happy for each other when good things happen in life, and being there for each other when bad things happen in life. And when you know your friends, then you're not going to waste a lot of time being upset about things that are not important. In my opinion, the qualities of friends who have earned the place in the inner circle, and this is just my opinion, are people who respect you. Let the respect be mutual. People who challenge you, people who are genuinely happy for you when good things, when you're doing well, people who will actually tell you when you are on the wrong. They will not just watch you burn and then go and celebrate or go and talk behind you. They will tell you when you're losing track. When you're an alcoholic and you only have friends who want you to go and buy them drinks, and none of them will ever tell you that you are drinking too much. None of them will even tell you that, let's call a cab because you drank too much. They will literally watch you get in a car and drive after a hard night out, partying and drinking and all that stuff. And I am not normalizing drinking. I am just trying to illustrate the types of friends you should surround yourself with. If those are the kind of friends you have who will not even call you out, those are not your friends. You are an ATM. Hello, Commercial Bank of Kenya. So, in summary, guys, healthy relationships. Are you benefiting? Is there a mutual benefit? Is there mutual respect? Is it confusing? If it's confusing, fix that. Figure it out. Know your place. When you know your place in somebody's life, you're not going to waste your time investing energy and resources in places where you don't matter. Instead, you will use that in relationships where you are held in high regard, where you matter. Look for friends who you can grow together or who can help you grow. Don't be the smartest one in the group. If you're the smartest one in the group and nobody's contributing, then you're going to run dry. You're going to be drained pretty soon. If you have the wrong people in your private spaces, your intimate spaces, it's time to take stock and get them out. Anybody who doesn't belong in your private spaces, your vulnerable spaces, get them out. If you're not sure, get them out until you're sure whether or not they've earned that place in your heart, whether they've earned that position in your heart. Do your friends have your back no matter what? Do you have friends like that, or do your friends, when they help you with some salt or some flour to make fufu, the whole town is gonna hear it? Yeah, the whole town is gonna know, oh yeah, that fufu they're eating for dinner, I'm the one who gave it to them. Know your friends and organize them into the spaces where they belong, so that you're not confusing, you're not having the wrong people in the wrong spaces. All right, you guys, that was it for today's video. If you have any questions or any comments, leave them down below, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.